Hey everyone, I'm Becky,
And I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzales, which I got off of Edelweiss.
That sounds right.
You're thinking hard.
Thinking hard. I don't recall. No, I think it's Edelweiss.
So this book is about Darcy Phillips, who is a junior in high school, and she goes to a very prestigious private school. It says partially scholarship. Also, her mom teaches there, so that might be how she can afford it. And Sophie was not Sophie, I'm sorry, that's the author's name. Darcy is really into helping relationships. She had kind of like started researching and become really interested in like the inner workings of relationships. And through a series of events, she managed to, as a freshman to get a locker that wasn't being assigned, and she got people to would leave advice, the questions for the advice to get advice and money, and then she would answer them. And this has been going on for like 3 years. She's making good money. She had like a 95% success rate because she gave money back when it didn't work. And one day after school, she goes to get the letters and she is accosted by Alexander Brougham. And he is like a new Australian swim team star. And his girlfriend Winona had just dumped him out of nowhere. And he basically was like, hey, I'll pay you a lot of money if you get her back for me. And she was like, no, I don't want to. And then she's like, yeah, but I want the money. And so she takes on this cause. Well, on the flip side, Darcy is bisexual and she's in love with her best friend, Brooke. And through the locker of secrets, she gets some kind of inside information about Brooke's relationship and a possible relationship. And then she's spending time with Brom and she's kind of like finding some interest there too. And it's basically one of those books about juggling the secret and where's your heart going to go and your own identity. And that's it.
So I really liked this book, and I actually found the parts where she's describing like relationship ins and outs of relationships and kind of her sexuality, which are two totally different things, but they're both like happening simultaneously in the book. I really enjoyed kind of how the author dug into that. The only thing is, like, I wonder, like, are other readers going to feel that it comes across as preachy? Because to me, it didn't feel that way. Like, it didn't feel after school specially. It just felt like this is an engaging way for you to explain, like, the different types of, like, relationship avoiders and, kind
Right.
of how you interact with others and how that plays out in a relationship dynamic. Like, I thought that was really interesting in the way she kind of describes it, and she definitely does seem to know her stuff, but she knows her stuff in a believable way. Like, it's not like she just gets it from the heavens. No, she reads books and she watches YouTube videos and she really kind of stays up on kind of that content and that information and the research. And I just found that interesting. But then also, like, with her sexuality, like, so she's bisexual, her sister is transgender. um so then kind of talking about the kind of societal implications of kind of being queer and what it means and what kind of issues you deal with on a day to day, and like really kind of digging into what it means to be bisexual in society, and how others kind of relate to you and how you relate to others. And I just thought it was really well informed and interesting.
Well, and I think I read it on Goodreads on the author's page. She said something about how when she was originally writing a novel, it was going to be about basically a rom-com between two girls. And she says, but when she started writing this character and she got into this character's head and she started writing like the other characters, that she ended up with the male lead. And she said that there's like, to her at least, a stigma if you write bisexual literature and they don't end up with somebody of the same gender. And she was saying how that's not what that means. That's not being bisexual if you're not attracted to people of the other gender. And I thought that was interesting. And I loved Darcy's narrative voice. I thought she was realistic. I thought she was funny. I thought she had layers. I liked Brougham.
I really like Broem. He was like my favorite. Like he was prickly on the outside, but like
Right.
he was a sensitive soul on the inside.
He had issues and they made sense.
Yeah.
I liked their interaction. I like the slow build of the relationship. I liked her interactions with her sister. I even like the stuff with the family because her parents are divorced. I just thought it was a really well put together realistic fiction.
I think there were pieces and parts like it seemed like the mom was developed one way and then like halfway through she turned into a totally kind of different character. But maybe she was always that way and I just didn't notice. But I totally don't like the best friend. I just don't like her. I don't like the best friend. I don't see why she's the best friend. Like she is a sucky friend and I don't like her. And it is what it is.
it is what it is.
Don't like her.
No, and this is the second book I read by this author, and I enjoyed. I liked the first one, but I really liked this one. And like I said, I think it's the distinct voice. Like I feel like we were in Darcy's head, and she was completely developed. She was like the way she talked was like it was original. Like I didn't feel like I knew her going in. I felt like she was created in this world.
That's fair. Like it was a solid. Like it was solid. I mean, there were some pieces and parts that I was just like, I don't feel like reading this right now, especially when it comes to Brooke, the best friend, but
Yeah.
it was solid.
Do you have anything else to say, or should we rate it?
I really don't know.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. Put a 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse. Where are you?
I'm at three. I'm at three unicorns because I feel like it was solid. It was developed. It did have a strong. It did have a good voice, and I enjoyed some of the characters. I just think like in my mind there was nothing that kind of made it stand out enough to reach a four. I think the queer angle definitely kind of gave it some uniqueness, but not enough to push it up to a four for me.
See, and I'm at a 4. I really liked Darcy. I liked the relationship with Brougham. I liked her experiences. I liked her like trying to find herself and her journey. I and there were parts of it like I could that weren't like perfect, but I was in. Like I and this is another one. This would make a great movie.
It would make a cute movie.
So that is where we are on Perfect on Paper, and we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.